Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of the MMA show. I'm wearing too much brown, and I'm brown myself, but let's get the show started. Well, we already know. UFC 287, man. Izzy defeating Alex for the title. It was an absolute beast of a card, man. I personally love the card a lot, honestly. We had some great fights on the prelims. We had Kevin Gastelum. His fight was lit, bro. I mean, he got the win by decision, so that's great. But it was, I mean, I think he got a fight of the night. It was fireworks. It was really, really good. Um, I'm glad to see Kevin Gastelum is, getting a dub, especially because he seemed to be one of those guys that kind of like fall off after they get defeated by one of these superstars, right? And it sounds super shitty, but I mean it happens, bro. He was a title contender before. I think he was the I don't know if he was the interim champ or not, but he was up there in the division before Izzy, and then Izzy came along, and ever since then he just hasn't quite fought the same. He's had a few losses, and then I think he was injured or something because he was off for a while, but he came back, man, and redeemed himself. That was a crazy fight, bro, against Chris Curtis. Not an easy fight at all. They both of them got rocked. They both rocked each other, and at the end of the day, Kelvin got his W, man. So that's great. And then starting with the main card, we have Raul Rosas versus Christian Rodriguez. Yeah, I mean, Rosas had a lot of hype on him. He obviously lost the fight. And, a lot of people attribute that to inexperience, right? He looked a little bit amateurish in the fight. He also fought a much old, not much older, but 25-year-old versus an 18-year-old. And you could just see the difference, man. You could see the difference. Christian, the whole time, had control of that fight. Maybe he won the first round. Maybe Rosas won like the first round. But other than that, Christian had absolute control the entire time. He held him down. He really was really close to some good submission attempts. So yeah, I mean it was clear as day. Christian took the dub all day long, and Raul, man, he definitely is not. This was his big test. He got put on the main card to obviously he's a massive. He has a massive fan base and stuff like that. So it's a little tough when to see a guy. Do you favor some fighters because of their popularity, or do you favor some fighters because of their skill? Right? Because Christian Rodriguez, I don't know this right now, but I guarantee you that Christian Rodriguez has not even half of the Instagram followers that Raul has. And I'm not gonna go check. I'm just talking out of my ass here, but I'm assuming he's really, really less well known than Raul Rosas. Raul had a lot of hype coming up ever since he joined the UFC. He had a lot of hype behind him, and yeah, it just wasn't his night. It wasn't his day. But I mean, obviously, he's still young. He has a long way to go. I think from now on, we're gonna see him more. Maybe the next time we see him will probably be in the prelims, just because obviously, like I said, this was kind of like his chance to prove himself that he was main card worthy. And also, I don't know, maybe after this fight, they would have given him some ranked opponents, right? He would have break into the top 15. So I think, got pushed a little bit too hard by the UFC and by Dana. I think it eventually added too much pressure to him, and he cracked. He cracked under that pressure, and yeah, it was a good fight for Christian. Like I said, he completely dominated that fight. So GG's for both of those guys. Then we have Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. It was a third round KO/TKO. It was a good fight. Holland looked amazing, bro. The thing that I would have liked about Holland in round 2 and 3 is to see more kicks, more upper body kicks. He threw a lot of leg kicks, which is nice, but first round he came out and with some great spinning kicks and back kicks to Ponzinibbio's upper body, to his chest, some to the head as well. And he was doing it beautiful, and the way he was doing it was perfect. And he kind of stopped doing that round 2 and round 3. So I would love to see a little bit more of that. But at the end of the day, he did get the W over Santiago. It was a nasty knockout. Santiago he got upset. He protested it. He said no, that he was fine, but he was not fine, bro. He was not fine. My boy got knocked out. Not fully knocked out, but he face planted, bro. He got cracked right on the chin, and he face planted. And then Kevin hit him at least 2 more times for sure. So, the ref's got to do his job, bro. You are face first in the canvas and you're getting hit a little bit more. The ref has to protect you, bro. This is not a championship fight. You know what I'm saying? This is not a title contender fight. You know what I mean? So there's no need for the extra damage. So good job for the ref. Santiago will understand that eventually, it was necessary to stop that fight. So, but it was a good fight. I mean, Kelvin is in a good spot right now. I know he already fought Wonder Boy and lost. He fought who else he fought? He fought Khamzat and he lost. So he, however, is in a good spot because in that division right now we have obviously Kamaru, Colby, Khamzat, all those people. However, I think does he fight welter or middleweight? I think he fights both, if I'm not mistaken. Well, the one he fought versus Khamzat I think that was a middleweight because Khamzat didn't make weight. Either way, man, he is not ranked, I believe. So I would like to see him. We already saw him against someone like Stephen Thompson, right? So he's ranked number 7. So I wouldn't mind seeing him with someone like Sean Brady or Jeff Neal. I really, really wanted to see the Jorge Masvidal one, though. Jorge Masvidal versus, they had that beef backstage. So that would have been a good fight. Honestly, it would have been a good fight, a good striking fight. I'll talk about Masvidal here in a sec, but basically, Kevin versus Masvidal would have been a great, great fight. Obviously, Masvidal announces his retirement at UFC 287. So, sucks. Is he really retired, though? We don't know. But before we get to that, we have one more fight. We have Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. This is a great fight. Great fight. Great win for Rob Font. Just, another guy that protested the stoppage. He said that he was fine. But he was not fine again, bro. It was clear as day. Those two was clear as day. There are some where they protest that I'm like, yeah, I see how he could have, survived. But like I said, this is not a championship fight, right? This is not like ranked number 2 versus number 3 fight. This is not a title contender fight. So there's no need for the extra damage. There's no need for that. You're already face down, ass up, and getting punched in. Sorry, bro, but you already lost the fight. There's not much to do about that. You know what I mean? So I think I actually saw what Adrian kind of like protested because he got knocked down, and then Rob Font landed 2 really nasty ground and pounds. 2, 1, 2, and it's almost, I've heard Justin Gaethje talked about this. He got knocked down, and I'm not saying this is what happened. This is what I saw, and I think happened. Something completely different could have happened. But I think he got knocked down with the first punch. He was out of it. And I think the second and third punch kind of woke him up, the ground and pound, because it seemed that way to me. He looked out when he first got knocked down. He looked unconscious. But then when he lands the second and third, he kind of like wakes up. And then there was a long pause between the second hit, the third hit, and when the fight got stopped. It was like a 2-second delay where like the ref was kind of like unsure. So this is what happened. Boom, knocked down with a hook. You're on the floor. 1, 2, right? And then like a 2-second delay, and then stop the fight. So I saw how he could have protested that. But I think Rob Font was just going to keep up with the ground and pound. So I don't know if Adrian was really capable of doing a lot there. He could have, protected and survived the storm. Could have, should have, would have, though. Like I said, this is not a championship fight. We don't want him to get more damage. Props to the ref. Props to the ref. He did a great job, in my opinion. If it is a championship fight, obviously you want to give the guy a chance, right? I mean, to survive a little bit more, kind of like how they did with. What I think about a lot is when Michael Chandler fought Oliveira, and how Oliveira also looked kind of like out. He was face down, just getting punched in the back of the head. And he weathered the storm and he survived. But it also depends which ref we have, so, it's complicated. Then we have Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. This fight, in my opinion, did not fully live up to the hype. Unfortunately, it was a good fight. It was a good fight, but I, for starters, lost my parlay here because of Jorge. Fucking bitch ass motherfucker. I had Kevin, Holland, Jorge, and Izzy in my parlay, and Jorge messed that up for me. So, thank you, my boy. I didn't know. Listen to me before you judge me. I did not know that Jorge said that if he lost, he was gonna retire. I didn't know he said that. If I would have known that, I would have never bet money on him, bro. Like, hell no. That's how you know he's on his last legs of his career. He is not going to try as hard. He's not as hungry. And I myself had a lot of questions about that. But then he was on Joe Rogan. He was on the podcast a few weeks ago. He was talking all this shit. He was talking how he was never felt better. You know what I'm saying? How he still can hang with the young guys and shit. So I'm like, bad, bro. Let me put some money on you, my boy. Turns out 1 day or 2 days before the fight, he says, oh, if I lose, I'm going to retire. Like, bro, once you're saying that, it's like you already have 1 foot out the door. Like, and I'm surprised I missed it because I usually do a good job of prior to a big fight like this. I kind of keep up with, like, all the changes and shit like that, all the stories. I watch all the embedded and stuff like that. I don't know how I fucking missed that, but either way, bro, it was an okay fight. Jorge was on skates there for a little bit. Gilbert kind of put him on skates for a little bit, and I think it was the 3rd round. Gilbert got a few takedowns. Didn't really do much with them, though. I don't know. We hear about how great jiu-jitsu Gilbert has, but I myself haven't seen him, at least not in his most recent fights. Obviously, we didn't see him against Usman. He didn't use jiu-jitsu. Khamzat, he didn't use jiu-jitsu. And Jorge, he didn't use any jiu-jitsu. So he took him down, but that's it. Jorge also had a really good defense, so props to him for that. Gilbert said that Jorge cheated, by the way. He kind of said that he could tell that Jorge was very slippery. So he thought that he cheated not cheated, but he thinks that he moisturized a lot throughout the day to kind of be slippery. And he said that when you sweat it out, he could see that it was like a bunch of cream or something on his skin. So interesting. I don't know. I haven't went back and saw the replay. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you guys saw something, definitely let me know. But yeah, great win for Gilbert. The awkward part for this is that he demanded to be the backup for Colby and Leon, right? The issue, and I mean, Dana pretty much confirmed it, but the issue is that beating Jorge was not a step up, in my opinion, not in competition, because Jorge was ranked 11 and Gilbert was ranked number 4 or 3, I think. Let me see. Gilbert. He's ranked number 5. So, I mean, it was obviously a good fight. Matchmakers did a good job. But that doesn't get you closer to the title. I mean, obviously, if you're anywhere in the top 5 and you fight a lower guy, you're still a few fights away from a title fight. I don't care what you say. You have to be top 5 and then defeat someone above you. That's when you don't necessarily have to beat number 1 either. He could have beat someone like Bilal Muhammad, or he could have beat someone like Colby, who are not number 1. Number 1 right now is Kamaru. You don't have to beat number one to be the next in line. That's what a lot of people creates that misconception. If you're anywhere in the top five, I think you could have at any moment, you can have any chance for a title shot. Which is why if you're kind of in the top five, you also kind of have to be ready, in my opinion, to take kind of like some last minute chances, or in Gilbert's case, he's going to be a backup, right? That's a great opportunity for him to just be right there in the position of being champion. So props to him. He put himself in that position. He's in a good spot right now. I'm glad to see him. He came back because he lost. He had those fights where he lost against Khamzat. So yeah, man, I'm excited for him. Okay. For Jorge, obviously, he is retiring. He has a lot of shit going on outside of the UFC, though, so I'm kind of glad to see that at least he has figured some shit out. He has his fight promotions, which had a huge event recently. I think last week he had people like Roy Jones Jr. fight, Jose Aldo, who else? I think Vitor fought. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, if he can keep doing that, man, making money, shit, by all means, brother, make money that way. Why do you want to make money getting punched in the face, right? So he said it himself, hey, when I started, I had nothing. Now I'm a multimillionaire, so I'm in a good spot. So yeah, my man, had a great career. He fought some of the best people. So yeah, man, good for him. Props to him. Definitely would have been nice to retire with a win, and it would have been nice to retire with my parlay. So fuck you, Jorge, for that. No, I'm just kidding, brother. All love to you, my guy. All right. The main event of the evening. We have Izzy versus Alex. Oh my fucking God, bro. Izzy proved that he is the absolute best middleweight ever. I don't care. No questions asked. No questions asked. I mean, just look at what he has accomplished, what he has achieved. He already lapped the division. Like he said, he took the Alex fight because he wanted the challenge, right? And it's MMA. Everything can happen. So obviously Alex defeats him, and Alex is champ. And by the way, great job, Izzy, for acknowledging that Alex was a champ and he will forever be champ. And I think that's something that's true. I think that's something that a lot of people kind of miss, is that when you get to a status of champion in a UFC, no matter what weight class, you're part of an elite few, man. Very, very few. Even if you were champion for a day, even if you were champion for 6 months, for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter, bro. Obviously, the more, the better, right? But just to the fact that you can say that you climbed through shit and through absolute savages to get to that spot, to be a world champion at a specific weight class, to say everyone that's in this weight class, and no matter what organization, UFC, Bellator, PFL, whatever, you can say, I have a UFC belt, which, it's one of the biggest organizations. I mean, obviously, a middleweight, if the champion of UFC fought the champion of Bellator, and they're both middleweights, I mean, maybe there's a question there. I hope someday they do something like that, like a cross organization tournament or something like that, UFC versus Bellator or something like that. But UFC, as far as talent, they're probably the biggest. So that's why if you're a UFC champion, you can kind of say that you're probably one of the best in the world in that weight class, no matter what organization. So Alex Pereira, for 4 or 5 months, was the middleweight champ. That gets solidified, bro. He was saying the same thing about Kamaru Usman and Francis Ngannou. He was saying they'll be champions forever. And that's true. People forget that. People forget that. People think that because Leon is now the champion, Kamaru Usman is not shit, and his career is over, and he's in shit. Bro, Kamaru Usman will for always be solidified as one of the best welterweights of all time. All time. It doesn't matter that he lost twice to Leon, bro. It does not matter. And if he retires tomorrow, good for him, bro. I'm sure he's got hella money, and he will always be remembered Hall of Famer without a question for sure. GOAT, maybe not, right? But obviously one of the GOATs, if not. So, yeah, you're solidified. You're solidified, bro. It doesn't matter. So props to Izzy for, just showing that good sportsmanship mentality, man. But the fight itself was fucking lit, bro. Obviously, first round, they were kind of just filling each other out. I still gave it to Izzy. Second round, bro, oh my God. I mean, Izzy was having some great kicks, some great strikes, some great little combinations. I was worried. I was scared for my life. The moment Izzy did this and he backed up to the cage, I was shitting my pants, bro. And out of nowhere, he just fucking swings an awesome hook. And Alex just gets absolutely bamboozled, bro. Absolutely fucking on skates, bro. Absolutely fucking violated. My guy got sent to heaven, bro. Simple as that. My guy got sent to heaven. If one wasn't enough, he came back and BAM! Immediately got hit with another one. Immediately, bro. And then people missed it, but he also kind of like a little left. It was hook, right? He went down, he came back up, and then boom, another hook again. And then I think he hit him one more with his left. I don't know if it was in his face or I think it was in the body, but he got hit. It was a total of 3 hits right there. My boy, bro. My boy. He was absolutely out. And then the hammer fist, bro. Fuck. That was brutal, bro. That was absolutely fucking brutal. And Izzy, if Izzy would have won it, he could have wrestled Pereira and probably submitted him or choked him, which would have been kind of like an easy way out, right? And Izzy, he chose the hardest fucking way to end the fight, bro. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if he covered up, if he was faking it, right? Because I thought he was hurt for sure. It was kind of like a Tai Tuivasa situation where you fake it and then you come back, or was he really hurt? I think he faked it. If that's true, shit, bro, you're talking about Izzy being miles ahead, bro, miles ahead of a lot of these fighters, including Alex, bro. If that was planned like that, if he planned that, if he said from the previous fight, if he said, I know Alex's weakness is maybe when he's unloading, he's not covering up, right? So when he's unloading, it's when I can come in and just crack. Bro, if he actually planned that, bro, I don't know, dude. He has to be up there with one of the best fighters ever, as far as IQ, bro. As far as IQ. Fucking crazy, dude. Fucking crazy. He regained his title, bro. What's next from these two gentlemen? I'll tell you what's next, right? A gentleman called Khamzat Chimaev. I would absolutely fucking love if Khamzat fights Izzy right now. Hear me out. What are we going to do? What are we going to happen, right? Because a lot of people think that Alex is going to move up to light heavyweight, which would be kind of like a smart decision because he cuts a lot of weight. He cuts a lot of fucking weight. So he could move up to light heavyweight, be a double champ, bro. Do that. Be a double champ, and you're already a legend, bro. You're already the only guy that has beat Izzy by TKO in the UFC. That stopped Izzy. You were the only. And you could be also a double champ, which is, again, another even more elite few people that can say that, right? Only people like DC, John Jones, Henry Cejudo, Conor McGregor, fucking Amanda Nunes. Only a select few can say they're double champs. Not even Izzy, bro. Izzy couldn't do it. So if Pereira can move up to light heavy, bro, and beat Jamal Hill, I think that would be a great move for him, and just solidifies himself as one of the best for sure. Because he is. Striking wise, I know he's only been in the UFC for a short time, but Striking wise, I think he knocks the fuck out 99% of the fucking UFC roster, including some heavyweights, bro. Including some heavyweights. The only people he wouldn't knock out are people like John Jones, maybe. Maybe like Francis Ngannou, obviously, right? But he knocks out, I think, most heavyweights, bro. And he will for sure knock the fuck out of like the strawweight women like division. Like, bro, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, bro. Please don't come at me. Please don't come at me. He should move up to light heavy, and be the champ for that because that would be insane. Izzy should fight Khamzat to defend his title. Because look. What do you guys want to see, huh? Do you really want to see Izzy do another lap of the never changing middleweight? Those top 10 guys have been the exact same guys for fucking 10 years, bro. You got Whitaker, you got Vettori, you got Paulo Costa, Cannonier, Brunson. Izzy already beat every single one of those dudes, bro. Every single one of those dudes Izzy already beat. He hasn't fought Strickland, I think. So you could do something there. You're looking at 7. I mean, he's beat everyone in the top 6, 7, that even 8. Bro. I personally don't want to see that again. I think Izzy now should focus on a money fight, on a super fight, right? Find someone like Khamzat. But it's tough because Khamzat hasn't fought anyone at middleweight and done a lot at middleweight. So he's kind of like a weird spot between middleweight and welterweight. He's still ranked as welterweight, as number 3. But, I've heard that he's just not going to be at welterweight anymore. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. If Izzy, let's say, takes like a 6-month break, right? So not 6-month break, but let's say he fights. He said he wants to fight 3 times a year. So, I don't know, summer, right? Late summer. If Khamzat could somehow fight in the next 2 months, let's say May, right? And defeat someone really good in the top, let's say 7 of the middleweight division. Defeat them easily and don't get injured, don't get KO, nothing like that, don't get too damaged, right? I wouldn't mind seeing him and Izzy fight later this year, like maybe like early fall or something like that. I think that's a good fight to make, especially because, like I said, man, it's a perfect because, like I said, Khamzat is going to middleweight no matter what. I don't think he's going to cut all the way to go to welterweight again. So let's just right away. We know he's hella good. We know he's top 3 of welterweight. So right away, let's give him a top 5 at middleweight, top 6, top 7. If he wins that with relative ease and, like I said, doesn't get injured or anything like that, or doesn't get hurt, where he has to take a lot of time off, that's the fight to make, Izzy. And Izzy could probably fight Strickland too, maybe in like 2-3 months, and then fight Khamzat. But it's gonna be tough to see that division get lapped again, bro. The only one that would interest me would be like a Whitaker. I don't want to see him fight Vettori again. I don't want to see him fight Costa again. So Whitaker would be one. Another thing is that it fucked up the things because imagine Alex defeats Izzy again, right? Easy. Imagine Alex defeats Israel again. Then we would have seen him with people like Whitaker, Vettori, and those would have been, in my opinion, great fights. Great fights because it would have been interesting to see what Alex can do to really good wrestlers and what the wrestlers like Whitaker, what can he do? We know Whitaker is a phenomenal wrestler and really good striker too. Obviously, if Alex touches you, you get knocked the fuck out. But how does he manage that? And will he manage to get him down and submit him? Because we all know his wrestling was not that good. Whenever we saw the first fight or the third fight, but the first one in UFC, and we saw them wrestling, we know that Whitaker and Vettori were yes. This guy cannot wrestle for shit. And then Alex won, and they were like, fuck yeah, it's my turn. So that was the pro of Alex being the champion, that it opened up the division for more opportunities, for more fights. But now it just closed up again, bro. It gets absolutely closed up again. I'll tell you what fight I would be interested at. Alex versus Jiri Prohaska. That would be a great fight. I think Jiri comes back and fights Jamal Hill, and then he can fight Alex, bro. Or Alex versus John Blachowicz. That would be a great. Actually, that's a great fight because they both have crazy power, bro. Fuck, there's a lot of options there. Please, please, please move to light heavy. Please, please, please move to light heavy. I mean, honestly, bro, Alex could fight a heavyweight. Fuck, dude. If he wanted to, he could fight a heavyweight, bro. Imagine Alex versus John fucking Jones, dude. Fuck, that would be a fight. That would be like Wilder versus Tyson Fury because one guy has automatic KO power but is not as skilled, and the other guy is like the best technician, skill, footwork ever. It's literally an exact copy of that fight. So that would be a great fight to see, honestly. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode of the MMA show. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. If you have any questions, just let me guys know. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.